How to build a Walipini? We're often told to reconnect with nature. I thought, why not? Tired of paying €4 for a soggy tomato? Strawberries in January with the texture of a tennis ball and no taste. So I decided, I'll garden. And then a friend says to me, Paul, if you really want to manage, they'll build you a Walipini. Walipini? I let the word sink in. It didn't find its way out. Sounds like a weak Pokemon. Type, ground, attacks, hides in a hole. It sounds like the name of something you catch during a festival whose address we'd rather forget. You see the scene, oh no, I'm not coming to the wedding, I caught a Walipini. It itches me as soon as I see a yurt. It's awful. Or worse, a new brand of organic yogurt, Walipini, made with sheep's milk from the Andes.
A flexibele texture, Walipini, a yogurt that watches you eat.
Strangely essential, or even a yoga posture that shifts your spine. Breathe in, Walipini. Exhale. A Walipini morning, noon and night, and normally your zucchini will look at you and speak to your tomato. But no, that's not it. It's a greenhouse, buried in the ground. You dig a 2-meter hole, you put a plastic roof on, and you can grow mangoes in the north of France. Mangoes in Lille. Under a tarp. I looked at my 19 square meter room, where I've been freezing for 3 years. And he's talking to me about a temperature-controlled duplex for artichokes. I suspect a hoax. I took the time to look this man in the eyes to check if he was serious. He was serious. Serious people, they always have that look. That look of someone who has watched too much YouTube at 2 in the morning. Paul. It comes from the Aymara people. It means place of heat. 2 meters underground, the temperature is stable all year round. It's thermal inertia, Paul. The thermal inertia, I have that too. Especially in the morning, before my second coffee. I keep it at 12 degrees. I don't move any limbs. This is passive geothermal energy applied to survival in an urban environment. In short, a shovel from the 100 Years' War was waiting for me. And I dug deep into the subject, literally. 3 hours later, I had removed 10 centimeters of dirt. My friend returns, looks at the hole, nods and says, "Good job. You did the lateral drainage." I should have quit then. But I'm a determined person. I buried the greenhouse, not the project. And then my friend goes on about the technical constraints. Angle the greenhouse directly south for angular optimization. That's crucial. Angular optimization. Calm down, Jean-Michel. It's a salad box. It's not a nuclear sub. He insists. And your walls, Paul, you need to build them using burnt earth. Any slightly militaristic word for gardening makes me anxious. He says, it's soil with metal reinforcements inside. That it resists without collapsing. Under the pressure. He's adding to it. The soil is packed between each rebar every 30 centimeters of height. Check for a water table too. I nodded innocently, and if one exists, then you get a free pool. You're not food independent. You're a spa manager. And then he started talking about rising capillaries. I expect a premature baldness. It's the water rising along the walls. And then it rained. Next morning, I went to see my Walipini. It was Atlantis. Cucumber in trouble. Basil like a castaway. Me in flip-flops. Holding a sieve. Being the lifeguard. I call my friend. My food resilience project is a thalassotherapy. For slugs, he says. That's normal. You need a sump pump. I buy one. The cheapest. Given the price of anti-inflammatories, it had to be balanced. A couple of days later, she makes a sound like
Secours, sortez-moi de là.
But this time, my neighbor showed up. When someone digs a hole in their garden, I personally rarely think, tomatoes. I'm more likely to think, we'll never see Gerard again. So the neighbor, he arrives. He looks at the hole, then the top, then the cucumbers lying flat. And he says, you know, beyond 5 square meters, you have to declare it to the town hall. I tell him, it's not an annex, it's a hole. Since when do we pay a tax on emptiness? He says, the minute you put a clear roof on it. I looked at the hole. I looked at my waterlogged tomatoes floating there. I looked at my medieval shovel. I looked at the neighbor. And I thought that in 10 years, when the world ends, he'll be in his lounge, calmly, with his zoning laws. I would have a report rising damp, a broken pump, a basilisk with PTSD, a Walipini with tadpoles, and a neighbor.
A neighbor. He had allowed it to take its own course, but it had not found the way out. Walipini. The butterfly is finally flying free from the debris. Okay.
I have 30 seconds of music to get to the point.
I want to raise funds.
I have the pool roof.
And for the excavation, I took care of it. But without your support, it will just remain a pool. I already have a vibrating plate to compact the soil. I chose reinforced soil
to grow strawberries in leeks on reinforced earth walls at 70 degrees.
I urgently need, with your support, 200 meters of agricultural drains covered with geotextiles in diameter 125, 350 square meters of geocomposite drainage mats, 1500 square meters of geogrids. Thanks to this, I'll find strength and courage in a world going a bit crazy. If I build the main drain structure for 5,000 euros, this Walipini will be a reproducible model, and I can guide you step by step, bringing a real project to life. If you like this project, every bit helps. Thanks a lot.
From the bottom of my heart.
Be careful.
The hurt's surprising.
Exaggerating, it's just a tent. Oh no, it itches.
I warn you.